Diving into this game here, TSM versus Echo Fox, as Hauntzer said, he's very happy that the team was able to play a more methodical, well-thought-out game. They definitely looked a little bit more cool, calm, and collected with the lead that they have secured.
Yeah.
But I want to go all the way back to Champions Select before we dive into the mechanics of the game and start with Echo Fox. Irene, I know that we're noticing a bit of a trend here on the side of Echo Fox that could be worrisome.
Yeah, out of their 4 wins that they had in a row, 3 of those were with Corki mid in the double AD carry composition. They left that up. They knew that Kalista was not going to be taken away, and so they secured Kalista Alistar for themselves on TSM. And this gives you so much because it covers a bit of your wave clear, it covers a lot of your team fight, and it covers your engage as well as some disengage. So this is just a great core to have and then build your team around that. And then they went for the Nautilus for some peel. They went for the Orianna, which Orianna is this champion that keeps showing up in the mid lane whenever mid laner's like, you know, maybe I've been a little inconsistent lately. Let's just play some Orianna. Let's just dust it off. Let's bring it back. And then the performances that Orianna's been having have been relatively good. But overall, I think that going back to the Echo Fox point, they were predictable in this draft. You pick the Corki, you know it's going to be double AD carry. You draft against that, and then you're basically done from there. But I do think that the game, of course, it doesn't come down to champion select. But I do think that when you see it coming, it's much easier to prepare for it.
Yeah, TSM came in this game with the tempo lead the entire time off a better played lane swap and a team fight comp. And when you have the tempo, you can always play your style of game. You show up to the Dragons, Echo Fox are willing to team fight them. Lo and behold, Nautilus Orianna wins team fights. Whoa, surprises! And, you know, TSM just won basically every battle. Right?
Yeah, the malphite ulti seemed really desperate at some times where he's
There's
like,
no
okay, well,
burst
let's just go
follow-up.
2. So yeah, exactly. There's nobody to follow up, and we saw some casks from Braum every now and then, but they were still just kind of pushing people away instead of actually helping.
So you mentioned that obviously TSM, a mid-game centric team composition in that Ori Kalista as well as the Nautilus. So they're very happy to have secured a lead that let them play the way they wanted to in that mid-game. Let's talk about how they got that advantage. We're going to pull up the lane swap here. Freak, I'm going to let you dissect this one. There's a lot of elements that play into this, and it is a pretty sweet illustration of one team understanding how and when to change play styles and another being a little bit slow on the uptake.
Right, so both these teams do phase 1 of the lane swap, basically the same, right? You get it down to 1 cast min, you kill the turret at the same time. This is 345 in. But then phase 2, TSM knows better. So Hauntzer freezes for a bit, and then he's like, right about now, he's like, oh wait, I'm gonna push, because Kalista's walking into top lane right now. KFO is still freezing. Hauntzer shoves the entire wave, and then backs out. So as the cannon dies, Hauntzer walks away. KFO's like, oh, there's a Kalista walking into my lane right now, right? Keith and Big have no wave to push. If their cannon is dead, they've got 5 minions on this wave trying to push. KFO kept trying to freeze. Here's a Doublelift with a cannon, with 7 caster minions, and you see Keith and Big try to push with literally 5 minions, and Doublelift gets to push alongside Yellowstar with like 14. And that means that Keith and Big are not killing this turret, but Doublelift sure as hell is. KFO has to recall away from this wave, and phase 2 of the lane swap, infinitely better played by TSM. They understand what phase 2 of the lane swap actually is, which is the AD carry walks back to the other lane. You get them that wave, or if you can, or you at the very least deny the other wave, which Hauntzer did, KFO did not. Echo Fox need to learn this, but hey, look, here's a very obviously understandable point that TSM knows that Echo Fox don't.
Yeah, you also have to think about the communication there, because if you're the top laner, you're looking at last hitting, you're not really looking at the wave bottom. Somebody needs to call that for you, that you need to start shoving that out as soon as possible.
Or you need to
and they didn't react to it.
Right? Like, lane swaps are a thing you can literally practice by watching VODs and playing 5v0 against no one. And just, like, you can do the first half of the lane swap, literally 5v0 against bots and knock the turret down, and practice it and get your time down to the same time TSM has. Phase 2, okay, you need someone to do that against you, but like, have a B team, do that. You literally don't even need to communicate. You can just like program 5 bots to play the first 6 minutes properly in a lane swap right now.
All right, well, let's get on that, because I would love to practice lane swaps myself. But I do think it is a very valuable point, and this is where I want to pull up another tweet in reference to our question of the day. At SaveUsG2J says, same pages, Freak, Liquid and Energy will have it this split. However, next split, watch out for Echo Fox. They are great. And I think it's a very clear example of, I mean, they do have the makings of a team that could go to playoffs with enough time. And that's really it. They need to shore up these small errors, these, you know, these inconsistencies in their early game, so they give themselves a fighting chance in the mid game against a team like TSM.
I'd also say they would have been a playoff team this split if it wasn't for some of those roster issues, because they lost so many losses because of that.
Yep.
So
they lost 6 games, including a forfeit loss, not having the roster together. And also, this was the test of are you the fourth best team?
Right.
Beat Energy, beat Liquid. Okay, next up is TSM. Okay, they're not as good as TSM. Many people didn't think so, but well, you didn't think they'd beat Energy and Liquid either. So like that's where they stand. But they had 6 free losses, so now they've got to try to pick up the pieces. There's still room for an upset win, but it'll be hard.
Yeah, playing Immortals tomorrow, it might be an 0-2 week here for Echo Fox. See how they bounce back, because that's important as well.
Yeah, tough game for Echo Fox tomorrow. TSM will be up against Liquid, so another team that's looking to challenge kind of in that middle of the pack. You were wondering at the beginning of the days, Irene, will TSM be able to bounce back after that 0-2? This is a good start, right? It's an expected win. This is a team they should have beat, but they did it, and they did it methodically, as Hauntzer pointed out. Coming up next, we'll see if Immortals can continue their perfect season or if CLG will hand them their first loss. The North American LCS continues after this quick break.